article in the New York Post. I actually read excerpts last hour, even though it wasn't the male-female hour. Why progressive women want to date men who act like conservatives. How do you react to that? You can call in now. You agree with that? I agree with it. 1-8-Prager-776-877-243-7776. The title of the piece is Why Progressive Women Want to Date Men Who Act Like Conservatives. That's a good question. Act like conservatives or are conservative? I think in the final analysis, a lot of the time, are. Because it's hard to act like a conservative if you're a progressive. Because it violates everything you have been told about yourself as a male. You will be a doormat. And if you're not a doormat, then you are a chauvinist. That's it. That's the way men are taught. I started reading another related article about what college does to men. How written by a professor at a university, at Bucknell University. How it teaches men that if they act like men, think like men, they are awful human beings. So she writes, a woman named Melanie Nutkin is the author of this. She's talking about a friend who's a quote-unquote a real catch. I told Mark that despite his best intentions, his egalitarian dating style could be the problem that's holding him back. While some women balk at any hint of traditional male gender behavior, more of them lament the loss of chivalry. I'm one of them, she writes. I find it attractive when a man plans our first few dates and knowingly walks curbside when we're together. It signals he wants to protect me from passing traffic or errant puddle splashes. When I was a kid, my mom told me to always walk curbside, but I assumed my generation of women would think it's too old-fashioned, Mark told me. Now I'm really confused. So let me tell you as a man why this is such a non-masculine statement. Masculinity doesn't care what, quote, women tell him. That's the whole point. Doesn't mean you disrespect women. There's nothing masculine about disrespecting a woman. But there's nothing masculine about listening to what they say and altering your behavior as a result of what the New York Times writers who are female are telling you to do, or your teachers at college. I've had this since I began broadcasting. I'll never forget the guy who called my show. I mean, I was in my 30s. He was in his 30s. And the guy said to me, I don't know, I don't know what to do. Should I hold the door open for a woman or not on a date? And I said, the very fact that you're asking is a bad sign. Of course you hold it open. If she doesn't like it, then you know this is not the woman for me. She saved you money. You should thank her. You're a feminist. I have no interest in dating you. Have a great day. That's it. And call a cab. In those days, there was no Uber. A woman offended if you hold the door is an idiot. Why would you want to date an idiot? He's really confused, this guy. What a riot. The New York dating scene, she's in New York, this is in the New York Post, is swimming with progressive women, and many of them want men who will pick up the check. Ooh. The female desire to feel protected and looked after is built into our DNA, says evolutionary psychologist Jeffrey Miller, a professor at the University of New Mexico. It's a mismatch between what progressive women say they want and what they actually respond to. Women's instinctive mate preferences have evolved for hundreds of thousands of years for guys who are competent, strong, good providers, good protectors, and happy with the sexual division of labor. Women want decisive men who are also compassionate and thoughtful. That's a catch. That's exactly right. By the way, just for the record, I don't care if you use evolution to explain it. I happen to think God made men and women the way they are, and that when done right, they're a perfect fit. But it's very hard to do right. That's why we have a male-female hour. If all men and women did it right, there would be no reason to have the hour, would there? 2018 study from Iowa State University backs this up, reporting that progressive women prefer men who demonstrate more traditional dating behaviors. The women found these men to be, quote, more attractive, unquote, because they signal a willingness, quote, to invest by being protective, committed, and by providing resources. Then she goes on to write about Gwen Stefani and whom she chose for her husband. When asked what she loves about her betrothed, Stefani gushed, he's full of love and generosity, so you feel safe. You can lean on him and trust him. By the way, that's what children want from parents. More than love, they want security. And for 2 or 3 generations, parents have not given their kids security. When you're your child's equal, your child is insecure. Their friends are their equals. Their parents are not. Carrie, K-A-R-I, 45, is a fundraising executive who dated a man in 2018 with left-leaning values and beliefs, but before long his egalitarian dating attitude and lack of initiative to plan dates led to a breakup. Quote, at work, I'm the boss. I have to run the show, be the cheerleader, have tough conversations, she told me. I make decisions all day long. At the end of the day, I want my guy to say, babe, I got this. First of all, the fact that she wants him to say, babe. Whoa. Isn't that an infantilization of a progressive woman? Babe? I appreciate a man who opens the door for me and picks up the check. This makes me feel safe, like I can count on him for other things, Carrie said. Adding, I'm grateful when a man steps up and acts like a man. It makes me feel more feminine. Ooh, but the whole purpose of feminism was to have you not feel feminine. That was its great goal. Men should not feel masculine, and women should not feel feminine. Masculinity is toxic masculinity, and femininity is weakness. That's what they've been told. That's what your kids are told when you send them foolishly to college. Get it? Femininity is weakness, and masculinity is toxic. Other than that, feminism had a great message. While Carrie and her boyfriend broke up, she remains a feminist who will only date conservative men. That's funny. Well, at least she has the wisdom to know that. Although she draws the line at, quote, far-right conspiracy theorists. Who's a far-right conspiracy theorist? These people, it's like saying, accept a white supremacist. Who are these people? 1-8-PRAGER-776. You agree with the thesis? You have a daughter? Does it apply to you? 1-8-PRAGER-776.